Hi, I'm Joe Lample, host of Growing a Greener World, and we're at my home garden and farm set, which is where we film a lot of the segments for our television show. And it's also the first week of spring, and as you can see, it's an awesome day, and it's an awesome time of year to do a lot of the important gardening chores to get your garden and landscape ready for the full season ahead. Now for me, I do a few things every year, and one of those is to prune my trees. And the reason this is such a good time is that the canopy hasn't leafed out yet, so you can look into the tree to identify all those dead and dying branches or those that may be growing inward or crossing. You want to take those out because not only do you improve the health of the tree, but it looks a lot better when you're through too. Now in the garden, improving the soil in between seasons like right in early spring, that is a great project to do right about now for a couple of different reasons. First of all, you have a blank slate, so you don't have to worry about harming any plants while you try to get around them to put stuff into it. But it's okay. I mean, that's called side dressing, and that's a technique that works because you can improve the garden any time of year with plants in the ground. But for me, I like to do that in that transitional time between seasons, and this is one of those two times. So I get in there deep with my nutrients. And the other thing is, for whatever was growing in these beds in the past, well, chances are they've taken up most of those nutrients, if not all of them. So I've got to find a way to get the nutrients back in, and so that time in between plantings, it's the perfect time to do it. Now, as I restore and replenish these beds over the years, I found a combination that I really like using several ingredients. And the first, of course, is compost. Now, this has been composting a really long time, but look how nice that is. And I put about a 2-inch layer in here. And then I follow that up with some aged bark. Now this is just the arborist wood chips, and I had them dump it on the property, and I don't do anything to it over the course of time, about 12 months, but this is what it looks like at that stage, and it's breaking down into really fantastic soil. So that goes in about the same amount. And then I like to use an organic form of slow-release nitrogen, and I've just found that that combination not only improves the structure and the tilth of the soil, but because you've got slow-release nutrients there, well, those are available all throughout the growing season, right when those plants need them the most. It's a really good combination. As for the trees and shrubs around this property, it's a similar routine. I give them a periodic feeding of the organic nitrogen, and I always check the base to make sure I have plenty of mulch around that to help retain the moisture and just keep them protected overall. But the routine works, and I'll give you an example of that right here with these hollies. Now, a year ago, we moved them to this spot, and they're looking really well. Now, I attribute that to 3 things. First of all, having the right equipment to dig them up and make the move. Secondly, plenty of water to help the roots establish, and then that supplemental periodic feeding with the nitrogen. But it's worked really well, and there's no reason to stop that routine right now because it's about to get warmer, the demands are higher, so we'll just keep it going because everything seems to be working just fine. Well, those are just a few of the things that I'm doing around here to get ready for the new year. And again, early spring is a great time to take steps like this so that you can get off to a good start with your garden and landscape too.